up?
What are you doing, brother?
How you doing, Hudson? Good to see
Everybody's
you, my
good.
brother.
Good. Star had to
Good.
run out. She had a family emergency she had to go tend to. So
Okay.
you and I.
Well, you know what? We can probably we'll miss her, but we
Yeah.
can. I know what a trained professional you are. You can do this.
Hey, listen, you've gone way too far with that. You're gonna have to back up.
Okay. Semi-professional. How's
There
that?
you go.
Yeah.
Amateur in
Trained.
training. Man,
Yes.
my Facebook feed popped up the other day. It was a picture of you and I that we had taken 10 years ago or something at a conference called Calibrate. And it was like Montel Jordan and Mark Hall and you and I. And
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, has it really been that long? Holy cow.
That's crazy. And we
Yeah.
still look so young and
I was about to say you don't
fresh.
age. What's your secret?
No, no. Yeah, well, you too, man. I don't know. What is it? It's soft focus,
That's right.
cameras.
And aloe vera.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing, man? Have you had a long day? I know you've probably been doing interviews back to back.
Oh, it's been good. I am been doing a lot of interviews. I'm doing some rehearsing this afternoon. Man, I've been practicing. It's so funny. I was, in fact, in my little in between, I was like sitting at the piano because a lot of these new songs, several of them I wrote on the piano, and I can pick up a guitar and pretty quickly, like, yeah, I can, I know where that goes. But with piano, a lot of times, when I write these songs, it's like you play them in the studio, and you get, okay, let's get the verse, let's get the chorus, you can stop and start and do all that. But live, you can't do that. So
Yeah.
I've actually literally been like, man, I'm having to practice a lot,
Yeah.
and even some of the guitars, just some of the new things, like how do you make it feel great and feel like the record, but also kind of great for live and all that. So I'm excited. It's been fun, actually. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but I want this concert. Obviously, this is not my first rodeo. It's not the first time I've saddled up my horse, if you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
baby. That's right.
And but I want it to be for those who maybe, have come to 20 of my concerts. And remember when I saddled up my horse the first time at Reunion Arena,
Shout out.
when that was still standing. I want this to be like a remembering all those great moments, but also something very fresh and new and unique. And I'm hopefully gonna be able to pull that off.
Oh man, hey, listen, the buzz around here, I think it's in like 3 weeks, 3 weeks or so when you're gonna be here. But the
Yeah,
buzz
yeah,
is like people are just jazzed. You're a household name around these parts.
man, that's awesome. Well, no place I love coming back to more than my good old Texas home, Dallas Fort Worth. I feel like it's home. I got so many, I mean, family and friends. Emily spent several years there at Baylor, and
Yeah.
my daughter-in-law is from Richardson, so right
Oh,
there,
shout out.
in the hood,
Yeah.
in the neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just so many special people and years of, we've talked about it, many times, but just so many great memories from that Reunion Arena concert when I,
Yeah.
literally debuted The Great Adventure for the first time, to just all the years of the Footloose concerts back in the day.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm super excited, man. Good to talk with you, and just
You too.
appreciate again you guys, your support all these years.
Hey, so next month you say Footloose. I saw 2 days ago. I think I'm gonna buy tickets for it. Kenny Loggins is doing a farewell tour. And
No
yeah,
way.
he's gonna be at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. That I'm gonna go see that show too. And so we're gonna have you, and
Wow.
like literally, it's the week after you, Kenny
Yeah,
Loggins, and then you talk about
man.
Footloose.
I want to try to see that because yeah, I've loved his, music over the years, and to think this might be one of the last times you get to see him, it's like,
Yeah, that'd be
dang,
wild.
I do that. Wow.
Well, and that's music right now. I think everybody coming out of COVID, we were all paused and
Yeah.
couldn't go to shows, and so now I think people are they're not only ready to come out. I mean, they've been out to shows, but we know the deep roots of the music that we want to go
Yeah.
see. And so
Right.
I think the music matters now more than ever, I would think.
Well, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of ways that it I mean, the world has changed so much. Uh, and I'm finding this with my music. It's really a lot of the reason why even the album is called Still and the tour is going to be called Still, because I think that when the world, has changed so much as it has in the last few years, those things that anchor us back to, what has been, where we've been, um, in light of where we are now. Not just like, hey, let's go, just total nostalgic, and which is cool and fun,
Yeah.
to go back and, but does it still hold up now? Is it
Yeah.
still true? And music, I think is that for sure. For so many people, it takes you, nothing can transport you like a song. It's like a time machine, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
can take you back to places, and it happens for me. But not only to kind of transport back, but then to be able to bring that sort of back into where I am right now and go, yeah, it's still true. God is still faithful and good. And for today, for this changed world that I'm in, the craziness of all that's going on around me, and that helps me remember it, helps anchor me to it. And yeah, just to remember, is such a good, powerful, important thing. And certainly music does that like nothing else I know of.
Yeah, for sure. How many
Yeah.
instruments do you play? You mentioned guitar and then piano. Do you
Yeah.
pick anything else up?
I grew up in my dad's music store, Chapman Music in Paducah, Kentucky, where
Yeah.
my dad still at 83 teaches guitar lessons 5
No
days a
way.
week. Yeah, yeah, he's still going at it. It's amazing. And so growing up in a music store, um, my dad had every instrument, kind of hanging on the wall, banjo, mandolin, guitar, bass, and people would walk in and I worked there. That was my high school job for a lot of years. And they'd say, "Hey, is that a good banjo?" Well, I learned to play 2 songs on the banjo. How about that? I want to learn to play mandolin. Is that a good? I learned a little bit, and I'd play on my records occasionally, play some mandolin licks or something. Um, if you play guitar, you can sort of fumble your way around bass. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean you're a bass player, but you can pretend.
Sure.
So I would, most of those instruments, I can at least pretend. I can sort of fake my way through a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Now, don't give me a fiddle or a violin or anything like that. That you got a bow and do that thing. I'm lost. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I kind of play a little bit of that. I was a drummer actually in high school.
Oh,
In fact, I
cool.
reference it in one of my songs on the new record about being in the marching band, being a snare drummer in the marching band, and I played
Yeah.
drum kit and all that stuff. But yeah, those years are long gone. I sit down at a drum kit now and I'm like, whoa, yeah, okay. I don't play drums, especially my son, who's a monster drummer,
Yeah.
Will Franklin, who played with me on the road for years. I gave him his first lessons and taught him like his first beat. And then, about a week later, he had already left me in the dust. I'm like, okay,
That's what they
you're a real
do.
drummer. Yeah, yeah,
Well, it's what they do. I'm a bass player. If I've been a bass player for a few years. Two
yeah.
weeks ago, I picked up the alto sax, dude. I'm playing this.
No way.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
crazy.
that is impressive because to play a sax, I mean, you got the reed and the whole thing, the way you gotta,
Different.
kind of squeeze that and blow in it and the embouchure, right? Is that the
Embouchure.
word? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's intense, man. Way to go.
It's
Rock
crazy.
on.
So my son's 12 and he started playing French horn. And so I was like, I want to get some like brass or woodwind instrument and play with
Yeah.
him. So I was like,
Yeah.
I read that the saxophone would be the easiest. So I was like, okay, let's pick up the saxophone and go for
Yeah.
it.
You're probably thinking, wait a minute, if this is the
Yeah.
easiest, I don't want to see the hardest, but
No, I don't want to play Careless Whisper
wow.
yet. I'm just
Yeah,
Mary Had
right.
a Little Lamb. So. Hey, on this new record, like there's so much buzz about it. You got 49 number one hits right now. Do you
Yeah.
feel the pressure for 50? Is that pressure for you?
I don't call it pressure. I mean, seriously, 49 is kind of ridiculous when you say it. A lot of people are like, "What is that? For real?" And so I'm so grateful and blown away if I'd ever had one song go to number one on the radio, much less 49. Now, with that said, is there hope and excitement and buzz from the label and management and all that stuff that I get caught up in and like, look, I will do whatever I can help because would it be cool, to kind of reach that, that mark? And I truly mean it would be exciting for me for the whole team because there were so many people, and you know them well, all the radio people at Provident, Jeff Cruz and Charles, all of my buddies and my peeps, and management people and people that have worked and believed in this so much with me to see that happen, to get that, 50th number one song on this would be a very, very cool thing. It
Yeah.
would put a lot of wind in the sails of everybody. It'd just be a super cool celebrate moment. Hey, we did it. Y'all did it. I gave
Yeah.
you the song, but and my co-writers, guys I worked with that produced and worked on the song, it's a team thing. So when something like that happens for me at this point in my career, it would be amazing. It would be awesome. So I won't lie and say, whatever, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It matters a lot, and it would be
sure.
fun. But it's also, put it in context. It's also easy to go, look, this is. I mean, it's top 10, I think now. So
Yeah,
hey, it did that. That's amazing. I don't want to, it's that thing where
totally.
it's like, it's kind of like the guys that I was thinking about this the other day. You know, um, what was it? We were watching something, and it wasn't the Super Bowl, but it was one of the football games. I was like, this amazing season. That everything was so incredible, and then because they lost, it was watching the national championship game in football because my daughter's a cheerleader at University of Alabama, so we
Nice.
watched those games a lot.
Yeah.
And this year, it was this amazing story of TCU right there in
Yeah.
in Texas, in Dallas, and going into this last game, they had this incredible season. And then in the game, they kind of got whooped up on pretty good, in
Big
that game.
time.
And it was like, the biggest, deficit or whatever in history of these games. And I thought they had this amazing season, and yet it comes down to this, and it's probably going to be really hard not to go, man, the whole thing is remembered by this one epic loss. But no, you got to remember there was this incredible journey that you had,
Yeah.
so don't let that do it. And that's just
Yeah.
life. So anyway, I don't
Sure. Well, in 3 or 4 years, when we start celebrating your 75th number one, then you and I are gonna be like, "You
know.
know what? TCU's good."
Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, man, we can't wait to spend some time with you when you actually roll through and hug your neck and,
Yeah, bud.
give your wife our best, and, man, it's good to see your face through Zoom, if not in
Yeah,
person, but, man, we'll give you a high five and a hug when you get here, and can't wait just to
sweet.
sing your songs with you that we've loved for years and stuff off the new record as we keep
Yeah,
moving forward. It's gonna be a wonderful night in Arlington when you make it.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
You
Always good
got
to
it.
be with you, my friend, and
You got it.
love you guys. KL2, I thank you for what you do, continue to do for the people there, and just blessed and look forward to being with you.
Absolutely, brother. We love you. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, man. Bye
All
bye.
right.